Vlog number tenteen, October 20th, 1708, day 1. So this video I think will just be an amalgamation of various things tied together. The first thing I guess I'll get out of the way is I've noticed that the views on my videos have suddenly dropped. And I think YouTube is pulling some strings. So I'm looking at uploading my vlogs on other service platforms so I can continue sharing them with the public. So yeah, that was a bit disappointing to see, but I've got to roll with the punches, and that's how life goes sometimes. Today at work was pretty depressing. I think a lot of the things that are going on in the world, it's clear to me also that I received a message from my higher power, and it has to do with following a false image of rejection. And this has a lot to do with being rejected as a person as my life continues forward. Mostly from the past as I was a kid, but I still have that issue today. A lot of it's because, well, I am not a sheep like the other people are. I'm an autistic adult. I don't have a piece of paper called a degree, which costs like $40,000 plus, and it's not signed off by some supposedly very important person saying, okay, you're intelligent because we said so. I don't have one of those pieces of paper, which, by the way, I hear is more and more useless anyway. But yeah, back to the image, the so-called divine image of rejection. For some reason, my mind thinks that it's always going to be rejected. And I was thinking this over today, and I was thinking to myself, it's not always going to be the case. There's going to be times where you will be accepted, but you've got to stop being delusional here and thinking well beyond what is practically reasonable or what could practically happen. It's like you got to think on a smaller scale, basically. And I got to get back down on my feet here and say, okay, get your delusions of grandeur out of your head, okay? This is where you are right now, and you're just going to have to live with it for now and just work with what you got for now. And yeah, it was kind of depressing. Another thing was I realized also that I may not meet some of the people that I talked to online, many of them for many years. And that was also pretty depressing, and one of which I've known for about a decade. That's pretty sad too. Unless my higher power can work a miracle, of course that would be terrific, but I don't call the shots there. Another thing, I guess I'll give this video a bit of a subject. Self-sabotage. There we go. Self-sabotage. Oh yeah, everyone loves this one. So you gotta sabotage yourself because everybody else, you're gonna fly past everybody else. How could you leave everyone else behind? It's like a guilt trip. We're gonna guilt trip you to sabotage yourself. Don't leave me behind. If you try, I'll blackmail you. I'll emotionally blackmail you. You better sabotage your own progress. The amount of emotional blackmail I've gone through my life is just astronomical. And it's one of the reasons why I like to just live by myself. It's all one of the reasons why people are so toxic. They don't think twice about their actions. They only care about their own ass. It's like, I could go on, but I'd rather not. Yeah, long story short, I'm still facing the fear of rejection. And I think that image of rejection, the so-called divine image of rejection, of course, is false image, ended up acting as a form of self-sabotage for me. To keep myself at a similar level of thought forms, of emotions, and other forms of energy with the entities around me. One example of this would be the job I work at. I would constantly sabotage myself, and a lot of that's because I feared losing the job, because I've had a very long history of having a hard time finding a full-time job. I have a lot of temp jobs previous to this one, but thankfully I've worked at this job for over 11 years, so that's pretty cool, but that fear is still there, so thanks to this economy. So yeah, I'm learning, as the dollar goes kaput, I've been thinking to myself, hey, you know what? Why worry about rejection? It's like people spend all this time getting money, even though they're just green rectangular pieces of paper or numbers on a screen. And, it's like if the dollar goes kaput, will their self-worth go kaput? Is it like their self-worth tied to dollar? Is their self-worth pegged to the dollar, if you will? Because it sounds like it is. It's like, so are they a currency? Is their body a currency? Well, all the whores out there, apparently it is. To the whores out there. Well, I know, body's not really a currency. It's more like a biotransducer, by the way. It's I wouldn't call it quite a machine per se, although you could look at it that way if you want. Biotransducer is definitely a better way of looking at it. But yeah, it's just this perspective of using. It's like all this sabotages the inner light within people, and people have grown up with the perspective of thinking that tension is bad. The materialists think that tension is bad. What they don't do is they walk into it. They don't walk into it. They don't embrace it. If they embraced it, it wouldn't be a problem anymore. But they spend so much time instead trying to suppress it that it just causes so many problems down the road instead. And then they complain later on thinking, well, what did I do wrong? But yeah, that's a bit of a tangent also. So yeah, you can tell I don't like talking about me sabotaging myself and my mental state. So I probably don't have the best advice for this. This is just me just in a way talking to myself that as of this video, I still have issues regarding some self-sabotage, although you've come a long way from what you used to do. And no, it's not drugs, thankfully. I don't do drugs. They're not worth it. Please don't do them. But yeah, you're definitely doing a lot better than you used to be. You still need to get that image of rejection out of your head, because there are people out there who will like you. And despite all the political cults, sex cults out there, it's so easy to be part of a cult and not have to think for yourself and just repeat all the mantras of that cult. See, this is the lazy way out. That's the lazy way out of life. It's like, if you want to live, think for yourself. Do what you want to do, and don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Because you know what? I've been rejected for so long, and yes, it's kind of depressing, and yes, maybe some of my depression is because I live alone, I need more interaction. But you know what? At least you're more free, and at least you have some liberty left by doing it that way. Because liberty starts within you. It starts within you. So there you go. There's your starting point. It manifests outward once you have the liberty and freedom within you already, is my point. So, yeah, I think that will do it for this video, I guess. But like I said, I'll be looking at other platforms to upload my videos to in the meantime. So I may make a video on that some point when it's ready to go. or if I'm going to decide to switch channels or not, or switch platforms altogether. But we'll see what happens with that. Okay, well, that's about it. So thanks for watching. Have a good day.